Hey, my YouTube friends, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So, are you guys tired of your weight? Like many of us, we all are. So, this is what the video is about. So, as you can see, this is just how the video I've noticed makes me look a little bigger. I've only lost 18 pounds in the last 4 months that I've been exercising and eating different. I don't drink soda unless I'm at work. I have cut down to one soda. Because sometimes I'll be at work and I'll have like gassy problems where I'll be like, oh, my stomach won't hurt, but I'll feel like I gotta constantly like have air in my system. And I know it's because I also have asthma and that. And I can feel like I can't short of breath or like I constantly have the hiccups and I can't breathe. And just that one little sip of soda, I can just always hear it go, and it just kind of like pops it for me. So it's like, and then I feel relief. I won't even finish it. Sometimes I even just throw it away, and I feel like I'm wasting money. But sometimes I use it for that purpose. But normally at home, I don't buy soda. I'll just stick to my regular ice and water. I love cold water. But if you're like me and like many other millions of Americans who struggle with weight loss, you're not alone. See, I used to be really thin most of my life. In my late 20s, that's when I started getting on my weight. Because when I was in high school, junior high, in junior high, I was 79 pounds. When I got into high school, I gained a few pounds, and I was 110 throughout my whole high school. 110 pounds, constantly really thin, just thin, and naturally thin everywhere else, and it was like, okay, and it was just normal for me. I fit into size 0. I didn't have to worry about my weight problem. Everybody was like, oh, you're so thin. But I ran cross country and I ran track, and I was always into fitness. I did 10 miles a day, even on my off season, because I would get bored. And I was like, oh, let's go for a run. And I would go for a run because my brothers were always constantly in and out of the house, bringing in their friends. And it was like I was stuck trying to take care of them because I was the oldest and they were younger. And I just was like, ugh. So I would go for a run to de-stress myself. Come back. My mom's like, what took you so long? I was like, I went for a run. I'm sorry. So that's something that I would always go do, is I would go for a run. Then I ran in my college year. I ran at Bakersfield College, and I would always run that same amount, 10 to 20 miles a week. And it was always hardcore workouts like it was in high school. Like we would do like 100 sit-ups or push-ups. We would do, hardcore push-ups. We wouldn't do like girl style. We would actually do hardcore core workouts that sometimes will like burn your stomach and you're just like, I can't do this, but we had to do it. We would do heavy core workouts and we would have to learn how to eat properly. So I was like, okay, it's not until after I got married, because when I got married, I weighed 110 still, and I was able to fit into my first communion dress that to me looked like a wedding dress when I bought it. I was like, oh, because it was more shaped that style. And my godmother, which is my aunt, who had bought it for me, I was 24 and I was 18 when I had my first communion, because my mom was still debating whether we wanted to be Catholic or Christian. And she was like, at least do your first communion for your grandmother, because my grandmother hadn't passed away yet. And that was one of her wishes for me and for my family members. And so in order to honor and respect one of my grandmother's wishes, we went ahead and decided to go to Catholic church and do first communion. And I did my confession and I did my first communion. And I felt really old because I was the second oldest in the class who hasn't had the first communion. So I went ahead and did it, and I got this beautiful dress. I'll try if I can find a picture and I'll post it for you guys. Beautiful dress, and it was just white, simple, very elegant, just simple. And I was 24 and I still fit into that dress to the T. I mean, it was just fitting perfect. Just all I did was get it steamed, washed at a cleaners. They cleaned it, they washed it, everything. We just added a few things to it. Perfect. I was really amazed. Then after I had my son, he was breastfed for a whole year. He drained me. I noticed my body started to change. I was constantly hungry, and I learned how to eat with him because he would eat. I would feed him for about 2 hours. I had to time it for my doctor because I was also diabetic, and he wanted to make sure that everything, my sugars were working good, and he was eating properly, and this and my body was working right. And so I would sit down and I would time, okay, he's gonna start eating at 1 o'clock, and he wouldn't finish till 3:30. And then I was like, oh my God, I was always so like, okay, switch an hour here and then an hour here, and I would constantly switch them. And I'll be like, oh, sorry. Mothers, my feeling. So that's one of the reasons that I started gaining weight, because all the time I was constantly hungry and I quit exercising. I just quit exercising, like, gave up completely. I would go for walks, but I wouldn't exercise. So then I started gaining pounds. I noticed that when I moved to Colorado, I was gaining more weight because of stress. I lived a lot of stress during that time, so I was constantly stressed. And I was a stay-at-home mom, trying to figure out how to budget my money along with my husband so that we can afford what we need without having to worry about me constantly. I always felt like ashamed because I always had to ask him, like, can I have $10 so that I can buy me my personal hygiene? Like, I felt like a failure, like I wasn't contributing enough. But I had an infant that I had to watch 24/7 and take care of. So I was constantly on top of him, teaching him things. I would speak to him in Spanish. And then it just kind of got all stumbled where I just gave up. Like many people, we give up. So I decided a few years ago, enough is enough. And I would lose my weight, gain it back. I lost 20 pounds last time and I gained it all back. And then I started gaining more weight when I noticed when I've had 3 miscarriages, technically 4, but 3 miscarriages through my medical doctor. And then I had one before that not a lot of people know about because I never talked about it. It was my very, very first one. It was in December. I didn't even know I was pregnant. I was married and just came out and like nothing. I went to doctors. They said I was healthy. I was fine. And then right after that, I had my son. No problem. I was pregnant. Then 2016, it's when I had my first pregnancy, and it just never turned into anything, and I had a miscarriage. And I started noticing that my weight, my inflammation of, like, when you start getting fat, a lot of it is just inflammation. It wouldn't go away, and a lot of the weight wouldn't go away. So I was constantly putting on more pounds. Then I started to try to exercise again, and I just wasn't in the right state of mind, wasn't in the right healthy environment either. So it was kind of hard for me to lose weight. Now that I'm losing it better and quicker and easier. And another thing that's helping me is I've been eating different. I've been more positive. I've been taking ashwagandha. If you guys don't know what ashwagandha is, I'll post in the link what ashwagandha is, because I really do recommend that. It is a super, super vitamin food. I call it like superfood. Ashwagandha has all the vitamins and nutrients you need, plus protein in there, and it helps balance your hormones, your body, and everything. It helps balance everything. So if you have thyroid problems, that's perfect. If you have if you're constantly nervous, depressed, ashwagandha. I give it to my son for ADHD, and it has helped lower his hyperness down. Me and my parents and his dad have seen the tremendous of effect that it has done. He is not as hyper, because usually he'd be running around going, mom this, mom that, running everywhere, jumping up and down. The only way he can sit still if he finds a game on Roblox that he likes, and then after like an hour or so, he's bored of it and he's running around again. Mom, this actually has helped him to be more aware of his surroundings, be more aware of himself, because also kids with ADHD tend to fall on the spectrum, and he does have Asperger's, and he's not also he has learned how to be more aware of his body, because he was always clumsy, bumped into people or accidentally touched or hugged people the wrong way. I know I'm getting a little up something, but this is what goes with the ashwagandha. It helps, like, you know, with everything. The brain is just a really good product. Another one is moringa. I've been drinking that 2 capsules a day. Moringa is actually a very beneficial. It's what they call it, the youthful. It's also another superfood, the youthful fruit or whatever, because it helps with aging, with your hair, with your health, helps with everything. And I will also post a link of what it mainly helps with. It helps also with PMS. If your body is unbalanced, it helps balances your hormones. It helps everything. So I think that's what it did. Because ever since I've been taking moringa and ashwagandha, my body has been more aligned, and it helps with cortisol. So what cortisol is if you're stressed, you create more cortisol, and cortisol doesn't allow you to lose the weight. So you just keep the weight. So basically, we want to release some of that natural stress that we put on ourselves and we don't even know we're stressed about, and let it go, so that cortisol won't literally, it won't just stay in there and create itself in fat. So I've been doing a lot of research, and my son's dad's been taking all these supplements to try to help himself stay healthy, but he's been looking at supplements that are healthy supplements, not like just whatever capsules of like caffeine or whatever. No, he wants that have vitamins and minerals and stuff, and that will help boost your immune system and will also help you get healthy. So he's been doing his for about a while now, and he's lost 60 52 pounds, which I'm really proud of him, because before he was in a negative spot. Sorry, I tell you, I always get hiccups. He was living in a negative spot where it was just bad. Drugs, you name it. And now that he's been clean for 2.5 years, he's been on this cleansing mode, energizing himself, cleansing himself with vitamins and minerals. Oh my gosh, I always get the hiccups. Even at work, I'll get the hiccups. And this one lady, little old white lady, came up to me. She's like, "You're pregnant." And my coworker goes, "Yes." And I get the hiccups all the time. It's part of my symptoms that I know either I'm going to be having an asthma attack. Sometimes that's just how I feel. And my friend was like, "It's an old white myth tale." And I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of that." And I'm like, "No, I'm not pregnant." And the lady goes, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes, positive." I'm like, "I'm 100% positive." I just thought that was cute, the way she said it. So anyways, back to this. So he's been doing his supplements, and they are actually working really well. And they're all like the ones that I mentioned, ashwagandha. They have all kinds of great minerals and stuff, and it's worked for him. And so I decided to try something for myself and to finally try something. So I'm going to try this. I haven't started it yet because you have to do it in the morning. It's called Nexagen Thermogenic. And I've been researching about Thermogenic, and it helps boost your metabolism. So what Thermogenic does is it helps with those T cells, or whatever they were calling it, that boost them into energy so that you'll burn the fat instead of storing the fat. Because usually your body, as you get older, your metabolism slows down, and instead of your T cells working the way they're supposed to work, they dwindle down and it just becomes fat. So I decided to try this, and it has vitamin, it has Roval, Nancian. I'll post what it has on here too. It has a lot of great vitamins. It has vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin 6, B6, vitamin B12. It has caffeine from coffee, and it does have a lot of different, I can't name these because they're so hard to name, but it does come with a lot of, it comes in the bottle like this, and then it's in a box. It comes like this, and it's for 20 bucks at Walmart. And there are 60 capsules, so there's 60 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it for a month, see how it works, see if it helps me along with my exercise and diet, and see how I get along. So I hope you guys can read. I'm gonna see if I can align it better. But these are all the minerals and stuff that it comes with, and I'll post it in there anyways so you guys can see. But it's called Hydronex, and it's made by MuscleTech. So I know MuscleTech is a really good company, so I'm not afraid of trying it because I've done my research on MuscleTech, and MuscleTech does their research with doctors and stuff like that. So it's not a product that I know that I'm gonna take that's gonna harm me. But we'll see if it will sink or swim. So hopefully this product will do good, and I can go ahead and review it afterwards and see how it does. Because I know weight can be one of our depressions, and a lot of women feel so depressed because of their weight. And when they feel depressed, everything else starts to dwindle. You start not cleaning your house. You start not cooking right. You start not putting on your face right. You just don't do your makeup. You just wear whatever, and you just feel lousy and yucky. So I want you guys to know that you guys are beautiful the way you guys are. Even if I don't know you, you guys are beautiful. And don't let, because you weigh 150 pounds and this one weighs 110, that doesn't mean that you're any less beautiful than her. It's not the weight that matters, it's how you feel inside the man. And sometimes we gotta stop and look deep down inside and just breathe and take deep breath and think about our own health and what we can do to stay healthy. If you're big women, because I have big women in my family, that's fine. It's just figuring out a way to get yourself in a healthier habits. You don't have to be 110 pounds, but just if you stay 170, and that's healthy for you because you're eating right, you're taking the right vitamins, your body is accepting everything, and it's working properly. That's what we want. The ultimate goal is to make you feel good, not about because you want to look like a porn star or something like that, because that's why I feel like everybody wants people to look like that, like very big breast and big butt and just, and it's not like that. God created you and I differently, and he created us beautiful in his own image, and I believe that. And if you don't, then I'm sorry, but I believe that. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you to all who have subscribed. So hit the subscribe button and the notification button and the like button, and don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, just subscribe to my channel, and we'll have a lot of fun together. And thank you guys. Bye.